Hey, good afternoon. Did you know Haiti was actually a colonization project under Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, I didn't either, but this is what really happened. In 1863, in the middle of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln approved a policy that most history books either soften or leave out completely: the forced removal of so-called Black indigenous Americans from the United States to a foreign location. This was not a rumor, it was a theory, it actually happened. The destination was Île-à-Vache. It was a small island off the coast of Haiti, and I'm not sure if I said that right, so forgive me if I didn't. About 450 to 500 people, many of them formerly enslaved, and all of them born and raised in the United States, were sent there under U.S. government approval. To understand why Lincoln did this, you have to understand the problem that white America was trying to solve. By 1862 and 1863, enslaved people were fleeing plantation in massive numbers. So-called free Black communities were growing in the North. The Civil War made it impossible to ignore slavery any longer, but many white Americans, including in the Union, still did not want these indigenous people living among them as equals. So, Lincoln believed emancipation was inevitable. He did not believe racial equality was. As we know, Lincoln didn't believe in freeing the slaves anyways. He only did it because he felt like he had to keep some sort of peace, I guess you could say. But colonization became his compromise. End slavery, but remove the people. Haiti was chosen deliberately. It was a Black republic, which allowed the administration to pretend this was not racist exile. An island location meant containment and control. And Haiti, weakened by debt and diplomatic isolation, was vulnerable to the U.S. pressure. The project was handed to a private contractor named Bernard Kock, who promised land, housing, food, medical care, and jobs. But none of that was true. When the settlers arrived, there was no prepared infrastructure. The land was not legally secured, supplies were missing, housing was inadequate, clean water was scarce, and medical care was nearly non-existent. Disease spread quickly: yellow fever, malaria, dysentery. People began dying within weeks. The settlers were also isolated by design. They were confined to the island rather than integrated into Haitian society. There was no clear path to citizenship, no secure land ownership, and no partnership with the Haitian people. This was not return, it was removal. At the same time, Black leaders in the United States were speaking out forcefully against colonization. Frederick Douglass and others made it clear: we are Americans. Our labor built this country. Our families are here. Exile is not freedom. Then, the lie at the heart of colonization collapsed. The Civil War intensified. The Union needed soldiers. Black enlistment became essential. Colonization no longer served U.S. interests, and reports from Haiti made the situation impossible to ignore: fraud, death, starvation, and suffering. So in 1864, less than a year after the project began, the U.S. government shut it down. The U.S. Navy was sent to evacuate the survivors. Roughly 360 to 370 people were brought back to the United States. The final act tells us everything. If these people were truly Africans, truly Black, returning home would have been no response. There would have been no response to bring them back, no reason to bring them back. Governments do not retrieve foreign populations and reabsorb them at their own expense. So they did so because these people were understood, despite racial labels, as domestic population, a people the United States were responsible for. So the words Black, colored, and African were not descriptions of origin. They were administrative tools used to erase identity and justify removal. The return from Haiti exposed the fiction. The Haiti project failed not because of disease or corruption. Those were the symptoms. It failed because you cannot exile a people from land they are native to and call it freedom. When the experiment collapsed, the truth became undeniable. These were not Africans being sent home. They were American indigenous being pushed out. And when that push failed, the government had no choice but to bring them back. That is the part of the story we were never meant to hear. The more you know.